All right, welcome back to another Shoe Snob unboxing video, series one take wonder. Here we are with something I think is quite exciting. I'm pretty sure many of you will find it quite exciting. It's kind of on this trend of hand welted shoes at incredible pricing. So I know a lot of you love the sound of that. Who wouldn't? A well-made shoe at a great price is hard to beat. So let's jump straight into it. Now, I will put a little disclaimer. The shoes in question did go around the world, and so the box is a little bit beat up. And I'll explain more on that later. So let's get into it. The brand, CNES. I'm sure most of you know who they are if you watch this channel, because I've done just one unboxing video. It was one of the earlier ones that I did years ago, maybe like 4 years ago. So maybe you haven't heard of them because you only discovered us recently. But CNES is an interesting brand. So kind of the brand that is forward facing to the international world are based in Singapore, but they are just an extension of the brand that was founded in Vietnam. Shoes are made in Vietnam, but Singapore is like the kind of international hub. And I believe Vietnam kind of controls the local market, as well as maybe a few others around there in Southeast Asia. But the Singapore kind of distribution and base is the one that most likely, if you were to go buy their shoes, you would be getting them from. So, yes, Vietnamese made shoes based in Singapore, doing every kind of construction you can dream of, and all at incredible pricing, especially for what you're getting. So let's take a look. I can't recall the first shoe if I ordered a 40.5 or a 40. It did feel big. This time I got a 40 in the hand welted shoe, and it actually fit very good. So you can see the box is a bit dinged up. CNES recently did a ton of trunk shows, but actually displayed this shoe, a shoe that I had requested to be made. And so the box went through a lot of rounds of shipping, and truth be told, the boxes are kind of basic and not as durable as probably they should be, especially when you have a pair of heavier shoes with blasts, with shoe trees inside. Shoe trees actually do a lot of damage inside the shipping box because they add weight, they're stiff, they're heavy, and they can be detrimental. And if they move around, they can even destroy the box. So, all right, so it looks like CNES has added a little thank you note card that they didn't have in the first pair that I got. Just want to take a second to thank you for your business. If you have any questions or if there's anything else we can help you with, please reach out to us without hesitation. And they have their address, they have their Instagram, their Facebook, their website, their email, everything you need to know. Then they explain about tax and import duties, which I presume if you've already received the shoe, most likely you paid those. But it's important because people seem to forget that if you buy from a country, a product from a country that's not from your country, you are liable to pay import taxes. That's the way your government collects the sales tax on foreign products, because no matter what, they want to be making money on everything you do. So it just baffles me when people don't realize that they're liable for import duties. Returns and exchange, and then how to arrange an exchange. So they got some pertinent info here, which is always smart. Let's take a look. Well, looks like they changed their bags. I don't know, for those of you who might remember the first video, it was more of a green, kind of typical cloth bag. This is a very interesting material. I don't know what it is, maybe a sort of polyester type, but it's a little bit more, it's definitely more durable, almost a little bit more kind of like flexible, but it's nice. Nice drawstring, branded. All right, let's get to the goodies. All right. So, as you can see, the unfortunate event of the shoe tree breaking from the travel. And again, Many brands may not realize this, but considering I've shipped so many pairs of shoes, this little knob here, if it's protruding, can break because the shoes ruffle around. You got these delivery guys who just throw the parcels, or the guys in the warehouse doing the sorting. They don't care about what's inside. So this is kind of a note to CNES, but also just a note to clients. Unfortunately, shipping companies and a product going from one place to another can destroy a product. That's why inside the box, the product should be packed as tight as possible, so there is no movement. But again, I've explained this. When you're buying shoes at this price for the quality you're getting, you're not paying for all the extra amenities. And believe it or not, wrapping costs money. It all costs money, and it all adds into that retail price. So if the retail price is as low as it possibly can be and the quality is as high as it possibly can be, guess where the lack is going to? Everything else that revolves around that pair of shoes, from the box, the packing, the bags, the paper, everything. So one shoe tree broken, but it's neither here nor there. Let us focus on the shoes. So beautiful pair, beautiful design. I really like this intricate Adelaide model with the little piece of, I want to say that's definitely got to be crocodile. I don't believe that's alligator. Funny, I never even noticed this design detail until right now. So if you look here, this part of the quarter is on top of the facing, but then as you get down below, the facing here is on top of the vamp. So it's almost like an optical illusion, the way they made it, which I do find very clever. I've never actually seen that. Hence why I didn't even notice it until right now, because I've never actually had these shoes up close in personal, even though I saw them at the London Super Trunk Show. But as I was super busy, I didn't stop to inspect them. So yes, this is their Patrick model, and this is a part of their new Handwelted line. So CNES just recently launched the Handwelted line with a ton of models and some incredible prices. The shoes in question are only $390. I presume that's a rough estimation, because when you have these currency exchange things on your website, it kind of gives you this clean rate that doesn't exist to the bank. So I would just call them around 400. But for 400 hand welted, it's pretty impressive. They somewhat remind me of a Voss shoe, because they do have quite a substantial sole, a substantial waist, and a substantial heel. Very reminiscent of the Austro-Hungarian style of shoemaking. It's hard to tell. This is actually a double leather sole. They do the finishing on the sole so, like, with a lot of polish to make it shiny, that I can't actually tell if there's a midsole there. I want to say there is, because this is a very large sole. If not, I want to say there's like a 3mm midsole. So that would explain it. But I really actually like that look, especially because that's such a pointed last. A last that reminds me of the deco shape. And if you have a single leather sole on that pointed toe, sorry to say, it looks like cockroach killers, corner kickers, whatever you want to call it. Super pointed shoes. So I actually like a substantial sole on a pointed last, because I feel like it helps to balance that look. The leather is Vegano. Vegano is a leather used for what's called washing, where you wash the color away and then add more color to it to give it. It's like a crust react. It's like a crust with a base, a brown base. So good for doing brown shoes. I'm sure there's other Veganos. I always use it in brown. I'm pretty sure Carmina uses it in a lot of different shades, but it's a French calfskin. Pretty sure it's from. I don't use French calfskin anymore, so I often forget between Dupuis and Annonay. But I want to say it's from Dupuis. But I do know they use a lot of Annonay. So either way, it's from one of the two, both very famous tanneries. Anyway, back to the shoes. So a very beautiful model. I love this design. I love the kind of just the punch cap there, which is really just one piece of leather. This in reality is all one piece of leather outside of the facing. So to me, it's a beautiful model. I really like this design. Very simple yet very striking. I love this reddish brown color. It's a very hard color to nail, to be honest, and I think they did a great job with this kind of patina. Um, yeah, beautiful pair of shoes. And at $400, hand welted, it's a steal of a deal. Uh, I don't know if you follow my Instagram, you've seen me post this sole. Reminds me of a woman's high heel. I don't know why. It's obviously a new way to kind of make the fiddleback, the viola, as you call it in Italian, which is, that V shape. It's interesting. And then they got the V on the heel too, which I don't know if they've coined. I'm sure somebody else had did that prior, but it's unique nonetheless. And I don't think you have to worry about balance there, um, because I really don't think that part of the shoe affects your walking. Just trying to look at everything quality wise. Nice stitches, great fudging on the sole. That almost looks like it's probably hand done with how consistent and clean it is. Machine fudging is not as good, to be honest. Hand fudging is much better. Uh, really, really clean making. Really clean making, to be honest. I don't see any visible flaws at all. Let's check this shoe. Nice closed channel. Nothing. Nothing. Great shoes for $400. They have the slightest pitch on that sole, on that heel. It's so slight that one may not notice in reality, but it's there. It's like a 5% grade at most. So very top quality work here for what you're getting. CNS recently started doing lasted shoe trees, but I couldn't find these on the website, so apparently they haven't started selling them yet. But I don't think they come with the shoes because I didn't read that either. So I presume that's something that's coming. I presume if you want to buy a pair, you can inquire about it before shipping. What's weird is these are so lightweight, but they're not hollow. I don't know how they did this. I don't know what kind of wood this is. It's probably cedar. It's hard to tell because it's been stained. But yeah, they're super lightweight. Obviously, they're lasted. That's the last 794. That's the 794 last. That's the size 40, 40. So everything matches up there. Beautiful kind of dark burgundy color. Taking a look, I did forget to mention they are in the description of the shoes and the details. They do mention that both the heel counter and the toe puff is made of actual leather, not leatherboard, not celastic, real leather. You tend to only find that in hand welted shoes. So that's a good feature for the real shoe snobs out there. Personally, I have grown not to care about that. I think it does break in nicer and feels better in the long run, but I think if you break them all in, at the end of the day, they all feel the same. So, this solitaire, I don't know what that's about. Hand sewn welt, crafted in Saigon. And you can always verify a hand sewn by looking at the inside of the insole where your toes lay and seeing the little dimples on the sides where they pulled that string by hand, that not string, that thread to create the welt, to sew on the welt, excuse me, not create the welt. So Great pair of shoes. 390, whatever, 400 bucks. Beautiful patina. That's 400 bucks with crocodile in the facing. So imagine, take that away and you got even less. Beautiful stuff, man. Really impressed. I can imagine them really taking off with this line because it's great value. You can tell that their patina work has really improved. I remember when I first got the first CNS, it was very basic. I know it got a bad rap. The leather kind of had strong chemical smells to it. This actually smells like leather with natural products. So it's always nice when shoemakers take their feedback without taking offense and actually work on it and improve their product. And it is obvious that CNES did just that, as this is one heck of a pair of shoes for one heck of a price. So definitely check them out. This model is called the Patrick. Beautiful. Do stay tuned, as I do have more on CNES. Something a little bit different. But anyway, hope you guys have enjoyed. Thanks as always for tuning in. The algorithm is really out to get us these days in terms of suppressing our views. So make sure you like, you subscribe, you share, you give the thumbs up, you comment, anything to help promote the channel to further build the education of the shoe industry to the masses and what is good shoes versus what are not. What are good shoes versus what are not. So anyway, definitely check them out. I'll leave the links below. Beautiful stuff for incredible pricing. You simply can't go wrong. Thanks as always. Have a great day. Bye.